All right, we're live. What's going on? What's happening? Real quick, you guys. I'm going to make this as short as possible. All right. When you're an attractive, chosen one, I'm saying the popular loner, i.e., I'm saying one of the ladies out here that just draw, people to you, or, one of the gentlemen out here that are rugged, I'm saying, and you guys, just draw women to you like a masculine siren. People are going to start critiquing you. It's just something that people do when they perceive you to be above them for whatever reason, whether it be looks or, I'm saying, just your charisma, your aura, whatever it is. So they start picking, I'm saying, picking you apart, nitpicking, all kind of weirdo stuff. And these will be total strangers. Here's the thing about it. These strangers will never directly speak to you because they know that you will shut down all their nonsense. Because they shouldn't have enough time to be, picking apart someone else or coming up with a bunch of assumptions based off of very little information that that person's allowing them to see, i.e., your social media or whatever you're presenting to people, right? Someone can't really call you childish or child-minded or childlike if you guys are not around those people in person on a regular basis. So what happens is they want to find something wrong with you. So when you hear someone indirectly, or even if they work up the courage enough, saying that you're childish or childlike, that person's admitting to you their insecurities. They're letting you know how insecure they are about the way that you move. Because a lot of people feel like they need to walk around and have this anger about them on their face, RBF, or they have to walk around feeling guarded all the time. And that manifests through them thinking that they're, being super aware and no, you're not. You're wounded, you're hurt, you're moving through insecurity, and you perceive everybody to do you wrong. So that's why you move the way you do. And you feel like everyone that doesn't move the way that you do is some type of sucker. No, that is the low vibrational state that your consciousness is in. That's all that it is. And when you hear people speak like that, just know that those people are not to be listened to. Those people do not operate in the same headspace that you do, and keep it trucking. Okay? Just being honest. Because, hey, what's going on, fam? What's going on? You guys hit the like button. Appreciate you. 12:22 a.m. 222. So, I want you guys to understand that when you hear people talking about chosen ones, trying to throw shade, saying they're childish, understand that you're talking to a wounded person that's nitpicking at somebody that they believe to be above them on some type of throne or pedestal. And that person is speaking from hurt. That person feels like they need to be guarded at all times based off of the failed relationships and childhood traumas and whatever else they've gone through, right? So they got to be guarded all the time. And they have to show you that they're guarded because they perceive everyone to be doing them wrong. Basically, they're a permanent victim. So when they see you, right, able to be who you are, because no one that walks this plane is guarded at all times. When they're home, when they're around their comfort zone or in their comfort zone, around people they're comfortable with, you know what I'm saying, in their safe space, all that BS falls off and they be who they normally would be. You know what I'm saying? Someone softer, more calm, someone that shows you, their softer side, the part of them that they don't show everybody else. The difference between them and you is that you are so deep in your faith in God that you know God's going to take care of you. So you don't have to run around with all these masks on all the time and trying to act tough or whatever. If anyone challenges you, they're going to get the business. You're not worried. You're not scared. They're moving and speaking from a place of fear. They're scared. And it bothers them that you feel so comfortable. They feel like you're naive, that you're ignorant. You know what I'm saying? That you're just running around with this Kool-Aid grin on your face and no, 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 no. You're beyond aware. You know what's going on around you and everything. You just don't need to walk in this broken, wounded, I fear everything type of mood and energy. You walk in, I know God's got it. I'm aware of everything. I take care of myself. So anything that comes up, I'm going to take care of it. And there's no need for me to walk around with this RBF or perceiving everyone to be doing me wrong, and I got to have this image of being tough, and it doesn't work like that. Not with you. We're not over here looking for validation, and we're not over here projecting images or sides of ourselves that we aren't really operating in on a regular basis, and that makes them uncomfortable. It makes their butt crack itch. What can I tell you? So if you ever hear someone talking about chosen ones or this or that, they're childish, or you indirectly hear people trying to throw shade at you and call you childish, what is their proof of such? What? I mean, I know it sounds nice and it's cute and everything, but if you look at this person that's trying to throw shade and you look at yourself in the mirror, do you not look better than them? Are you not more fit than them? Are you not able to articulate yourself better? Have you not accomplished more things in life? Do you not help more people? Right. So again, it's just this person and these people that just don't have nothing they can say against you. So they start reaching for straws, man. I don't like that person. They're just so childish. What do you mean by that? What does that mean? Because I think childish is like child minded, not handling responsibilities, not someone that's just not guarded, that walks around with the love of God on them, and is not afraid of everything. How is that childish or childlike? You're stupid. You're low IQ, you're dumb, and you're never challenged. You won't bring it to me directly because I'm going to put that shit in the trash. I'm going to put away with. I'm going to shut all of it down. All this childish and another way that you're trying to throw shade at certain people that you just can't find nothing else to say about them. You won't bring it to me because I will shut it down. I will make people think. I will show how stupid it is to project that on somebody that you don't know based off of the way that they're carrying themselves. They seem childish. Man, I think they child. You think? What do you know? What do you know? Because if you want to go off the little tiny window of the personality that you think that you're seeing, as opposed to the results of the things that this person's doing, I don't think they add up. You're just talking, you're chattering, you're rambling, you're babbling, but you're not thinking before you speak. You're mad because you need to do some work. And that person keeps winning. That person doesn't let nothing keep them down. And because you're just a negative Nancy, you find everything negative in life to amplify, to whine about, to complain about, and that person doesn't. And no matter how much you try to project onto them, they let it roll off their shoulder. Oh, they're childish. They don't take things. No, they think more than you do. They just think about solutions instead of dwelling in the drama. Okay. So when you hear these kind of things, man, from these losers, what I'm saying, these low vibrational 3D goofies, it's just low IQ speaking. They don't have no other way to articulate the fact that you trigger their demons. They can't tell you that. They can't tell you that you make their butt crack itch. They can't tell you that. They got to make it seem like they're childish. They don't pay attention to enough stuff. Eventually what? When is that going to happen? You just, you got to think about what people are saying. You know what I'm saying? Like with this younger generation, they tend to spend more time trying to critique people than trying to be a better version. And what I do is, instead of letting them point fingers at people, I point the finger back at them. It's a whole lot of younger millennials and Gen Z. They're always the ones talking about child minded, while their generation is known for not being able to read or write. Are you serious? You're deflecting. I'm never going to let you deflect. You can't read and you can't write. You regurgitate crap on your videos. You can't look at the camera because you have to dig in the back of your head to remember what you heard. You people are known for having the dead eyes. It's been labeled Zoomer eyes or Gen Z eyes, whatever they're calling it. But you are the first people to start calling someone childish, start trying to label people in a negative connotation because you're trash, you're dumb, and you don't want no one putting any spotlight on you, so you try to deflect. So I'm here to remind you, actually learn something. Stop using ChatGPT. Read something. Learn to improve your attention span. And stop regurgitating things that you heard some other idiot, that's regurgitating something that they heard some other idiot say. Okay? It's not that hard. You know it's regurgitated nonsense because they're all saying the same thing. They're all saying the same thing. You people are slow. Okay? And I'm not going to let your slow behavior, you know what I mean, um, be projected onto me. And it's not just them, it's older. But what I mostly see talking this way, the people are that are in my, age range and up, they're pretty much considered fools that talk like this. We don't pay them no attention. But the younger generation, just you want to feel important. You know that millennials just, I mean, we blew it out the water. And the crazy part is, since the war happened, it kind of like delayed us. So God kind of paused us from aging. So now that OIF and all that good stuff, 9/11, it's unchilled out. We can finally get our rain. We're getting our rain now. That's why our music's coming back. That's why the way we dress and the way we talk's coming back. You can't discredit. It's not your time. And your age shaming has karma y'all into looking as old or older than us. People can't tell a Gen Zer from a millennial. Stop talking so much. Stop trying to make it seem like you know something. Actually, go and learn something. You talk more than any generation before you. I'm talking about younger millennials and Gen Z, because not just Gen Z, the younger millennials set them up. The younger millennials are responsible for taking Facebook too serious. The young millennials are responsible for Instagram being a highlight reel. That trash ass generation, not all y'all, but most y'all, that trash ass generation set up the Gen Z, right? Because with them being so smart assy the way they were, right? Not really contributing to anything, they came behind everything, but able to claim all this millennial stuff, but came behind everything. We're talking about mid 90s. Man, listen, let me tell you something. Everything was already pretty much set up by the time they came along. By the time they were teenagers, we're talking about late 90s, early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like a different generation itself. You know what I mean? You don't really remember the 90s or the 80s. So again, it's different and I watch these because look, my younger brother, younger millennial, you know what I'm saying? The people they were different from me. They were different from me and my sisters, older sister. They're just different. They were obsessed with Facebook. That's the generation. I distinctly remember my brother. That's the generation that started obsessing over Facebook. And then once Facebook was obsessed over, then Instagram, and then here we are. So they set up Gen Z. So I'm not going to let y'all get away with it. You younger millennials keep riding our coattails. No, no, no. Y'all got bigger mouths than Gen Z because you can read a little bit. You were the contrarians before them. You had nothing. You were doing nothing. Everything was already built. So you had to start being the contrarians. Well, I don't really think that blah 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 was so great. Shut up. Just shut up. You started this soft generation stuff. You people are not getting away from this. This so happened to be that my ex-wife is also a younger millennial. But again, that's neither here nor there. Those people, we don't get along with them, right? And I'm not going to let the younger millennials just get a slide by because Gen Z is so messed up, right? No, no, no. You are the reason why they are. And that's why there's a whole generation called, the Zennials, because we had to separate ourselves from younger millennials. We have to. They're not the same as us. They are not the same. That's the generation where people's image online started becoming more important than how they carried themselves in real life. Literally the switch. They cared more about their image online than their image in real life. They dropped the ability to, socialize, right? That was a generation they started being socially awkward, then running to the internet and being so charismatic, right? That's them. I'm not letting you get away with it. I'm not. And most of my haters are younger millennials, coincidentally, because I've always had issues with younger millennials. Just now realizing it, as you know what I'm saying? The new generations are coming in. The people that gave me the most smart mouth and all this crazy crap based off nothing, just talking to be talking, being a contrarian, younger millennials. Younger millennials. And they don't age like us either. Don't even do it. You don't age like older millennials. You don't age like us. You're too involved in social media. You don't age as bad as Gen Z, but you don't age as well as us. No, you don't. Piece of shit. Anyway, you know what I'm saying, you guys? I don't want to hold y'all too long. If you can't tell, I have more of a gripe with younger millennials than Gen Z. Because with Gen Z, somewhat the ones that that are trying to come around. But with them younger millennials, they're stuck in their ways. They're trash. They're done. They're done. You know what I'm saying? These are the goofballs you mainly see on TikTok talking too much. Younger millennials claiming our legacy. Get up out of here, man. People can tell the difference between an older millennial and a younger millennial. You know what I'm saying? Not all of y'all younger millennials, not all of y'all, but a lot of y'all, you messed up in the head. You're dramatic. Look at these rappers and singers and stuff. Those younger millennials. You know what I'm saying? Look at them. Mumbling all the time, worrying about aesthetics more than being a good person or their body long term, getting all these surgeries and all that stuff, you know what I mean, falling apart. These are the younger millennials, man. Y'all ain't getting away with nothing. Freaking idiots. But yeah, you guys do me a favor. Go ahead and follow. Thinking about TikTok. Subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Join the tribe, you guys. A lot of content coming. I will be doing reaction videos tonight, but I got to knock out these workouts first. You know what I mean? But if you guys are not, follow me on TikTok. I'm on TikTok every single day. Every single day. You know what I'm saying? King David, the lone wolf, right? That's me over there. So check me out over there. I will be reposting those videos over here on the Wolf channel. I'm probably going to do it on the King David, the Chosen channel as well. I'll repost those TikToks over here. Not all of them because some of them get copyrighted because I play music in the background. But you know, I'll repost them over here and then we'll continue to do reaction videos over here on King David the Chosen. When it gets warmer, you know how we do with the walkabouts, you know what I'm saying? But it's cold. I'm black. I'm not going outside. Again, you know what I mean, reposting on the Wolf channel. I'm gonna also repost on King David the Chosen channel, reaction videos, you know what I mean, vertical on King David the Chosen, and you know what I'm doing over there on the Wolf channel, right? Anyway, y'all, appreciate y'all. Drop a comment if you agree or disagree. And I'm not saying every single one of the younger millennials, but I've had so many issues with that generation specifically. You know what I mean? And they're just a different kind of person. They gossip more. They're hive minded more. They have a little bit of our millennial traits, but they're in my opinion more Gen Z like. You know what I'm saying? They worry about what everybody else thinks, and since they don't want to get on the bad end of things, worrying about how their image is on the internet, then they'll just start, you know, going along with it. They just do stuff like that, right? They're super toxic. And what they do is they play with words a lot. Like they're able to see when things are going down and they'll pivot, right? I don't like them little motherfuckers. So I gotta say something about them. I don't like the ones that have the most problem with on TikTok are younger millennials. They're trash. These are the ones that imitate me and copy me the most, but don't want to give me any acknowledgement. Just like my ex-wife. Literally imitate everything I do, dress her kid like me, then act like she's not. Then try to dress my kid like somebody else. They're weird. They are weird. You know what I'm saying? We always on Gen Z. Those motherfuckers are getting a pass because our generation is so wide, millennial, that they're included. No, it's Zennials, man. We got our own little, older millennials got our own little thing now. You're not included. You know what I'm saying? You know, we had to delineate. We had to delineate. You're trash. We can't be part of what you do. You're too concerned with what everybody else thinks. You shouldn't be a part of our generation. You should be like the pre-Gen Z or something like that. They shouldn't call you millennials. You know what I'm saying? But then we got that stain from y'all, from these recent generations of y'all doing what y'all do. When millennials are chill. When I was growing up, everybody knew we were chill. You know, we were like hippies without being hippies. Like we just didn't take things too serious. Parents would, you know, we had boomer parents. They try to trigger. Just can't do it. We're just chill. And not on no fake mask wearing. I'm just trying to give off the image of, and then I get home and I'm stressing and aging myself. No. We're really chill. We're really chill. We don't take y'all serious. We had to go through OF1 and right out of high school, a lot of stuff before you idiots were old enough to do anything. You know what I'm saying? So our adolescent years and our early 20s were taken from us. We had to be real grown and go to war and deal with war does or whatever. And now that things have cooled off, you know, we're able to continue, you know what I'm saying, where we left off at. Now, a lot of you idiots will start saying, oh, y'all got arrested development. Give me the definition and also spell it. You slow ass people. Spell it, spell those words, and give me the actual book definition and not your interpretation. You get online and you just pick up words and just talk. You don't understand why older millennials are able to chill. It ain't meant for you to understand, you idiot. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you'll figure it out when you get a little bit older. Maybe you won't. Maybe it ain't meant for you. But trying to put a label on it because you don't have that ability, oh, they're in arrested development. They have not matured. We're handling our bills better than you. We're aging better than you. We're setting trends better than you. What are you talking about? You're speaking from your feelings. What are you talking about? Just talking, man. You're just talking. How about y'all sit down, shut the fuck up, and let the older millennials and Gen X and whatnot teach you something? If you were doing so great, how come our rappers having to come out of retirement? T.I., Trick Daddy, Juvenile. Why are they having to come back? Because you ain't worth a shit. Get online and run your mouths while looking like crap. We looking better than you, aging better than you, talking better than you, being better examples than you. We delineate it. Don't be over here putting older millennials in the same bucket as that younger group of, you know what? We delineated. Zennials, okay? Raggedy ass group of individuals. Y'all are pre-Gen Z. That's what y'all are. You're big mouths, and that's all you are. You ain't contributed nothing. You didn't have no real wars happen during the time that y'all were old enough to understand. You ain't really had no real nothing going on. Just been online with the internet, able to give your opinion about everything that came before you. And you're just, always some contrarian. You started that contrarian crap, going back and questioning, greats and things of that nature. So, I blame y'all. But I ended up ranting longer than I wanted to. But anyway, I'm about to fire the Patreon back up. So these are the kind of things that we'll be talking about over there, except we'll go more in depth. Okay, because these haters, these younger millennial haters, they love to get online and run their mouth about what they heard. They're gonna watch my content and then run back to TikTok and make a panel, with a bunch of other idiots that mumble, that can barely articulate words. Barely. Did I hurt your feelings? I hope I did. Because if you was a real one, if you were a younger millennial or a Gen Z and you're on your grind, you're doing it right, it wouldn't bother you anything I'm saying because I'm not talking about you. But to you, little son bitches that troll me, that hate on me, how does it feel to be on the wrong side of history, idiot? Oh, I'm going to just get on the gravy train and get on the hate train against this guy. How does it feel to be on the wrong side of history? You're stupid. You're dumb. You're low IQ. It made you feel better to go against this one person or whatever because you didn't think he could start a movement. You're on the wrong side. I'll never give up. I'll never quit. I'll never surrender. Just because I didn't make things happen in your younger millennial Gen Z timeline that y'all make up doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Some of the greatest, content creators of our generation, came back after doing what they had to do. Kevin Samuels is one, doing it for about 5 years, wasn't he? Before he found his niche, right? And he's an older man too. So older people move a little bit differently. Y'all just sit back. We're not in a hurry to get there because we want whatever legacy that we make to last. Okay? Because y'all younger millennials and Gen Z, you're here today and you're gone tomorrow. What did Conor McGregor say? You're a fart in the wind. You're a fart in the wind. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Come on. But again, I'm just on here talking my junk. More of this junk talking on my Patreon. We have my website fired up as well. You know what I mean? I am an engineer. What am I doing? Watching content creators that look like they just came off the street with websites, and I'm a whole engineer and I don't have one. That's ridiculous. I've got a merch site, but I need a website. Something that I can really sink my teeth into. That engineer spirit is still in me. As you can see, I'm always trying to learn something new. I'm always working on all these different apps, putting different kind of content out, editing differently. That's just my engineering spirit in me. But I need to get more into it, man. I need to have a website. Anyway, you guys, appreciate y'all. New merch coming soon. It's all written down. It's just so much stuff I'm doing, you guys. I'm just taking care of things in order. I'm not in any hurry. You have to pace yourself so that you don't burn out. Okay? You know what I mean? So that's what I'm doing. You guys do me a favor, drop a comment. Even if you're one of my haters and you want to disagree, I welcome it. But understand something. I might say something to you that you'll never forget. Okay? Don't think you're going to run your younger millennial Gen Z mouth in my comment section using Chat GBT. You know, you're going to get a spanking. You're going to get a spanking. No, you better yet, you can get a butt whooping. Okay? People from the South know what that. You're going to get a butt whooping. All right? So don't play with me. Okay? Or do. You know what I'm saying? I would love to give people, you know what I'm saying, examples of why not to play with me. Again, love you all. We're just chopping it up, right? We're just having a conversation. I just want a conversation, you know? And I just don't agree with the way that younger millennials move. And I don't agree with the way Gen Z does. It's called critiquing you. If you have an articulated critique that you have for me and you're ready for the consequences of that critique, please bring it my way. I think all night long about stuff. I would love for you to think that you're on my intellectual level. I would love for you to. Don't let the smooth taste fool you. That's part of what I do. I want you to think that I'm just goofy, I'm silly, I'm childish. Don't get fooled, man. I'm far, far from it. Okay? I make grown man moves. I'm no coward. I've been to war twice, right? So I have a lot of pride. I will represent my country. I will do what's needed. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what we found out about, you know what I'm saying, the war thereafter, still did what was needed. Not gonna take nothing from y'all. Anyway, y'all, love and light. I'm headed back to TikTok. I'm out.
It's on mute. Hey, hold on. Bitch, be quiet. Lot of niggas fake, so I'm moving it.